Warm welcome to everybody. And I can see that we have people from Sri Lanka, and we have from India, and we have from Costa Rica, Venezuela. Fantastic. And if you are from other countries, please write it in the chat so we can say hello to everybody. Welcome so much to this first online seminar that European Weightlifting Federation Technical Committee has arranged. It's 1 out of 6 seminars. And today we will talk about the role of the jury. And next time we will have refereeing, and then we will have chief marshal position, and then we will have technical controller position. Then we will have a new one where a coach will talk about how he prepares for a competition and how he is working during competition. And I will be in conjunction with that, telling about the good things to know for a coach for the big competitions. And then for the very last seminar, we have an athlete telling about what is important for her, what was important for her to prepare before, during, and after the competition. And then now, where she has ended her career as a weightlifter, what is she going to do now? So this is 6 seminars that we all hope you will join whenever it suits you. This is recorded as well. So you can watch it on the channel as well. My name is Tina Beiter, and I am the chairwoman of Technical Committee. And today I have my committee here as well, and it's Patrick Helgesson from Sweden, and it's Trygve Dun from Norway, and it's Georgieta Yon from Romania, and it's Arayik Aravadyan from Armenia. Thank you so much to all of you for preparing these seminars. And before we start, I have a warm welcome and a warm greetings for you from our president in Europe Weightlifting Federation, Antonio Conflitti. He has just left the African Championships and he is on his way home to Moldova on an airplane. So he's not able to join us, but he was very satisfied that we finally again were able to organize these seminars. So a very warm welcome from him. And I know that we have the first vice president of International Weightlifting Federation, Ursula, and she would like to say a few words as well. And then I will start to give her the floor. Ursula, please. We can't hear you. Maybe it's because our host muted us all. Is it possible for you to unmute us all again so Ursula can say something? The first vice president.
There we go. Hi, everyone. Hi,
Hello.
we're here in Tunisia. It's so good to see you, Tina, and everyone else that is serving. We just want to say, I want to say thank you from the IWF for all of the service that you provide to the athletes and to the IWF itself. The technical officials are an incredibly important aspect of our entire community. We know that your services mean that you give a lot of your time and your efforts. And I just want to say that I and we as a federation truly appreciate all the time that you spend perfecting what you do. And we want to encourage you to continue to engage in such seminars and webinars and continue to improve. And I take it as part of my responsibility in the IWF to continue to support all of you in any way that we can. We've had some really great discussions at lunch with 2 of the ITOs that are on the technical committee for the IWF, and hopefully we'll see some improvement soon from our side. But thank you, Tina, and thank you to all of you for spending your time improving your abilities to provide services to the IWF.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hello. Allow
Hello.
me to also to some more people would greetings our seminar. A surprise maybe, but it is very important to include the media to see and hear what they think about us.
Ah, thank you very much, Milan. Yeah, I've just arrived in this bright holiday here. Tunis, having been to the European Championships, Thailand National Championships, Asian Championships, now African Championships, all in one trip. Quite tiring, but yes, I was very impressed to see that list which Milan sent me the other day of all these seminars that you were doing. Very impressive indeed. So I've listened to far too many speeches and you won't want to listen to one by me, but I just say keep up the good work, great job, and thanks, and goodbye for now.
And we have
you so
one
much.
more special host and guest here from Africa, President of African Weightlifting Federation.
Hello and
Hello.
welcome.
Hello, Khaled.
Good evening, everybody. Hi, Alex. How doing?
Fine, fine, thank
I'm-
you.
First, I would like to thank for this seminar for referees. As usual, the European Federation is active federation, and we are with us today. Our big brother, Dr. Milan, the secretary, and just this morning, Dr. Antonio Completi is leaving. I hope to more cooperation between yesterday we discussed with our colleagues, our brothers Antonio and Dr. Milan, to maybe get some agreement and contract between Europe and Africa to cooperation together. And I hope to see you next as soon as possible in the next event. Thank you and good luck for all of you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. And the
allow
General
me-
Secretary.
Yes, hello to all. I'm sorry for music you can hear. You understand that we are at the competition. Now we have African Senior Championships and we are in between snatch and clean and jerk. So we have a break. So I wish you really good luck and very successful work. All the best. I'm sure that Europe ITO is probably one of the best in the world, but also it is important to cooperate with our colleagues from all continents. So chairwoman of technical committee, Tina Beiter, is very capable to make a good connection and good seminar and good luck. Thank you very much and sorry, I will just stop now because I don't want to disturb the seminar.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Milan. And thank you for having time in between snatch and clean and jerk. Fantastic. Have a nice competition. Bye-bye. Well, that was a lot of greetings. So we are very popular and I like it. So let's get started with this seminar. I would like to say that if you have questions during my presentation, my beautiful assistant, Patrick Helgeson, will help and he will stop me and say, Tina, stop, we have a question. Or you can save them for the end and then we can take them at the end of the presentation, but you are very welcome to write in the chat if you have something that I need to explain more or something that was unclear or something I didn't say, but you thought was very important to remember to say. Okay. Now I will start my presentation. So, can you all see? Yes. Yes? Good. Welcome again to this first seminar. And this is the role of the jury. And as I just told you, I'm Tina Beiter and I am Vice President in European Weightlifting Federation. And I'm also Chairwoman of Technical Committee. I'm a former weightlifter myself. I competed 4 years in the last century. And I have been a Category 1 referee since 2012. I have been a member of European Weightlifting Federation Executive Board since 2016, and I have been jury president at every or almost every European Weightlifting Federation championships whenever it was possible for me to participate. And I have also been a jury member at IWF championships, and I was a jury member at the Olympic and Tokyo Games. So I have a little experience for now. So welcome, and as I said, you are very welcome to ask questions. I think it's easiest if you write it in the chat, or it's also possible you can say the question here, but Patrick, he will be in charge. And we will hopefully be finished at around 8 o'clock, because it's not possible for us to stay focused for long. So I will try to move on now. So I would like to thank IWF and EWF, the presidents and the general secretary, for fantastic support. Every time we say that, can we do this? Can we do that? You might also have seen some of our videos that we have done for educational movement for the athletes and also for the coaches. Every time we come with suggestions, we always get a yes. So it's fantastic to get that kind of support.
Tina,
Yes.
we have a question. Could you make slides full screen?
Like this?
Now we can't see anything. We can just see you.
Press F5.
Or we will
Okay.
just continue like you had it before.
Yeah, like this. Okay. But Ibrahim, you have a question? Your hand is raised? No?
No.
Okay.
Make mistake.
Okay, good. Okay, so when we are in the jury, and if it's a 3-person jury or 5-person jury, we, the jury, has the ultimate control on the field of play, and its primary function to ensure that the technical committee rules and regulations are being correctly followed and applied. That is the biggest job for us to make sure. And then, of course, all jury members must be Category 1 technical officials, and they must be from different countries. At an IWF event, the jury is composed of 3 or 5 members each, and one of them is the president. So there will be 2 jury groups, so there will be 2 jury presidents. At senior, junior, youth, world championships, Olympics, and youth Olympic Games, the jury will be a 5-person jury. And it will be possible to make a reserve jury member. And it's also when we have a qualification, Olympic qualification, as we had at the European Championships just arranged in Yerevan, we also had a 5-person jury. So this is important. And for the upcoming youth and under 15, we will have only a 3-person jury. Of course, we will have 4 persons in each jury group, but for now we will have 3 because it's not a qualification event. So for me, when I am jury president, the most important thing for me is to be in the very good time for the very first session to check up that the weigh-in is running smoothly and that all ITOs are feeling good and ready to get a great championships and be able to help if anything is missing. So it's not just to be at the weigh-in 5 minutes before it begins, but be there in a very good time, because then we need some warm-up passes, or the computer is going down, we don't have a scale, and so on. So if if it's possible, be there in very good time. That's my key points, to be there in very good time. And then when the competition runs and it's day 2 and day 3 and day 4, then everything is running smoothly. Then it's okay just to be there whenever, half an hour or an hour before the competition starts. But for the first competition, in a very good time. And then to make sure that all ITOs are comfortable and know what they're doing, and they can seek help if they had experienced something. So this is what I practice a lot. I hope you can say yes to that you have seen me do this. So to check up on the chief marshals, is everything okay? Do you have enough screens? Do you have enough pens? Do you have enough computers? And for the technical controller, to see, is the allocation of the warm-up platforms okay? Do you have problems with the athletes or coaches, too many coaches inside? So this is also what the jury president must check up on. And for the timekeeper, it's very important that the jury president also check up that the timekeeper is comfortable with the system and knows English. And for the refereeing, that the weigh-in was okay and how the group is working together, etc. And then, of course, also to check up on the speaker, that the speaker is okay and is doing fine. In Europe, we only have one speaker for now, and he's doing all sessions, but we must make sure that he is also, taken good care of. And in general, just to be ready to solve whatever comes up. So this is not just the jury president that should pay attention to the last point, but that's all members of the jury. And actually, it's all ITOs that always should be prepared to solve any question or any problems that comes up. So to always let the ITOs know to come to the jury president or the jury members if any doubt, if any questions, and you can always give us coffee, because we always sit in a long time and we have to stay there for the victory ceremony and everything. But if you have any issues with coaches that keeps on coming in after you say you cannot be here, you're only allowed to have 3 coaches inside and you have 4, please leave. Don't make an argument. I know that Trygve, he will tell you a lot about that when he's talking about the refereeing. And we will also hear it when Thomas Norlander will tell you about the technical controller position. But if you have any doubt as technical controller, don't make a big argument, tell them what the rules are, and then go to the jury president and say, I have said this, they did like this, can you please help me? And then the jury president will come, and then sometimes it solves itself when they see the jury president, or we have to make some kind of changes. But if any doubt, please come to the jury president. And there are no questions that are stupid. It's only stupid not to ask them. So just come and ask questions. So here is a picture from Ashgabat in Turkmenistan 2018. You can see we have 5 persons in this jury. And then in the jury next to, it's a 3-person jury. And this is from Romania 2018 as well. Romania, who saved EWF, they had 43 days before the competition should run, they said, okay, we take the competition, because we had some issues with the country that was supposed to arrange it. So they had 43 days to arrange it, and that's why Milan and Trygve and Christina are very happy. We also have the jury, when we have jury at the Nordic Championships. This is Finland, Denmark, and Norway, and you can see all the ITOs as well, competing and being proud of serving their country. And this was a very historical moment. We did something special in Georgia in 2019. We had a 5-women jury. It has never happened before, and we haven't been able to do it after, but at this competition we could have it, and it was so good and very competent female ITOs. So that was nice to make some history again. So when you're working in the jury, there are some rules. After the presentation of the ITOs on the platform, the jury will be presented. So the ITOs will enter the platform after presentation, and they will step down, and then they will wait until the jury has been presented, so they can give them their card, the ITO card. And the presentation will always be like the president will be announced first. And this is just an example. As jury president, we have Tina Beider, Denmark, clap, 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 clap. And the second jury member is Trygve Dun, Norway, and jury member Patrick Helgeson, Sweden, jury member blah, 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 and reserve jury. Always remember to announce the reserve jury as well. And then when everybody has been announced and presented, then all the ITOs will go by and shake hands or give knuckles, you know, like this, or just to say hello. It's okay if we still are with the COVID, no problem. But we need to have the cards so we can sign them that you have been officiating at this competition. And then when everybody has given their card, it's time for pictures. And it's very important because this is, you know, again, to show that we are here and we are doing a job. And please look at us, we are fantastic. So this is the group serving in Turkmenistan 2018. And on the other side, you can see the group serving at the European Championships. So this is just all the formal stuff that is important to know, and you probably have seen it if you have been a referee or timekeeper or whatever, but still lots of new jury members, they are, you know, like, oh, what is happening now? And so I think it's good to show all these pictures. So what is important when you have when you're in the jury, it's throughout the course of the competition, is to observe the work of the ITOs. The jury members, they may highlight any special occurrences by way of a written report. In EWF, European Weightlifting Federation, the jury president is always writing a report after the competition. How did it go? How was the warm-up? How was the weigh-in? How was the competition venue? How was a training hall? How was the hotel? How was everything about the competition? It's very important, and it's very good good to have for us when we make the next competition. Is there anything that we should pay attention to?
Tina,
Yes.
we have a question.
Yes.
About from Rainish Bashkar. He wonders, reserve jury member duty, will it be rotated or will it be the same in all the categories? The reserve member, is it
no.
the same all the time, or?
No, it will be rotating. Only the president will sit for all the sessions, but the other three will change. So every fourth time you will sit as a reserve referee, or if it's a 5-person jury, you will sit every 5th or 6th time. Okay.
Thank you.
So in IWF and the TCRR, it says here that the president of the jury may deliver the report, but this is mandatory in EWF to make a report for the competition. And also throughout the course of the competition and after a first warning, the jury by unanimously vote may replace any technical official whose decision prove him or her to be incompetent. It's not something that we do often, but we have done it a couple of times in Europe, but we always give a warning to say, you need to pay more attention, or what did you see? Did you see anything? Because The two other referees, for instance, they have red, you have white. All the jury members, we have red. So please be careful about the bend extend. It's almost something like bend extend or press out that can be difficult to see. So it is in our power, the jury, to replace an ITO, but we have to be unanimously. We have to be unanimous. So it's not just something I decide because I'm the president, so I have the power. No, never. Always discuss first and say, tell us why you did like this. And it could be in anything. It could be because you argued a lot with a coach inside. It's not proper. It's not the way we want it to be. We want us to be polite, to be helpful, not to argue or to be rude. So we always take a discussion, give a warning, and then for most of the time, then the ITO finds out that okay, I will relax, I will do the best I can, and then it's like that. But it's in the jury's power to replace someone. And in impartiality of the technical official, it's not to be doubted. Errors in officiating may occur involuntarily, and in such situations, the ITO is allowed to explain his or her decision to the jury if desired or requested. So we can all make a mistake, no doubt about that. And don't even think that because you made a mistake, then the jury president will call you for a talk and then you will be replaced. It has nothing to do with that. We will, keep an eye and see, okay, for the next session, or maybe for the other jury president to keep an eye on this ITO who we are thinking maybe do not know the rules or has forgotten the rules or whatever. So it's not just like in a second and then we take the discussion. It's important for me to say that. So it's also important to know that when we don't have video playback technology, when it's not being used, then the jury has the power to reverse a decision when the referee's decision has been judged unanimously by the jury to be technically incorrect. In order to consider the reversal of a decision, the jury may call the referees in question to seek an explanation. They may. And if they do so, call the referees for an explanation, and the explanation is accepted, then there will happen nothing more. No action is taken. But if the explanation is not accepted by the jury will reverse the decision. Such decision and its reason must, of course, always be communicated to the athletes and the team official concerned via the technical controller or any other ITO as directed by the president of the jury. Whenever there is a jury stop, and if we have video playback or we don't have video playback, then the technical controller will come to the jury table and listen to whatever is the issue. And if the jury president calls the ITO for an explanation, then the technical controller will stay put and listen. And then after that, they will decide, is it a good lift or is it a no lift? And then the jury president will announce to the technical controller, it's a no lift due to bend extend. And then the technical controller will go to the speaker, the announcer, and say, it's a no lift due to bend extend. And the technical controller will go to the coach and say, unfortunately, the jury has reversed the decision. It's a no lift due to bend extend. Or it could be the other way around. It's a good lift. We didn't see anything. We didn't see elbows on the knee, or we didn't see bend extend. It was a completely technically perfect lift. And then the technical controller will go back to the speaker and say it's a good lift, and go out to the coaches and the athlete. I prefer to for the coaches to have the announcement and not the athlete, because the athlete needs to be focused. So go to the coach, and the athlete will probably listen because they know there is a jury stop. So this is just to make it good. Yes, and when we have the video playback, then it's possible to reverse the decision. After the video playback technology replay, a majority is required amongst the jury members. It's not to be unanimously, it's the majority. So this is also something that we need to pay attention to when we have video playback. So when the decision of the majority of the jury members differs from that of the referee's decision, then again, the jury may call the referees in question to seek an explanation. And if the explanation is accepted, no action is taken. And if the explanation is not accepted and the jury reaches unanimity, is unanimous, the referee's decision will be reversed. Sorry, there's a lot of and I'm not drunk. So in an event where the composition of 3 jury members is appointed, unless unanimity is reached in the first instance, the jury cannot take any action.
Okay, Tina, we have a new
Yes.
question.
Yes.
Also from Rainish Pashkar, India. Is it compulsory for TC to be present at the jury table when referee is giving explanation to jury, or shall the TC come later?
I think that the TC should come immediately when it says jury stop, because yeah, we don't know what happens, so they should stay, not maybe to watch, but just to be, so it's easy for the jury president to be in contact. There should also always be eye contact between the technical controller and the jury president, and then it's easy for them to come as soon as they hear we have a jury stop. And
it's no problem that they are there when the referee is giving explanation.
No.
Very good.
No, they will just, I think it's good that they also listen to the explanations, and then when the jury president says, okay, I've been listening, nothing is happening, okay, or we reverse. Yes.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So in order to apply the above rule, the jury members have to give their decision on each lift using the jury control unit located on the jury table. And it's a bit different from being a referee, because when you are refereeing, you will give down signal as soon as the athlete is motionless or is under control. And then you give down signal, whether it's a white or red, doesn't matter, but you give the down signal. When you are as a jury member, you will give your signal, your whatever you think is the decision, you will give it when the barbell has landed on the platform. When the all lift has ended, then the jury member will give their decision. Even though you think it's a good lift, then you have to wait. And it's not, it's also very important that jury members do not influence each other. That if I push my bottom very fast, then Patrick, that is my second jury member, he said, oh, Tina already pressed the bottom. It must be a very good lift since she did it, or it must be a no lift because she was so fast. So I give no lift as well. And then I might give good lift. So don't press the bottom until the lift has ended. And for the jury president, we have a monitor, so I can see when I'm the jury president, or any jury president is able to see when the referees are giving their signal and when the jury members are giving their signal. So you might get a lifted finger from the jury president saying, please, you have to wait a few more seconds before you give your signal, because we need to have the lift completed, because there could be something changing during the down when we are dropping the bar. It could be that they dropped it too fast, too high, behind the back, and so on. And it's not possible for the jury member to reverse their decision when they have and as a jury member, you should be aware of the rules. So that's also why you need to put the bottom when the lift has ended. And then the jury is not a jury of appeal. There is no appeal against the jury's decision except for the challenge card procedure according. So when there is a challenge card, when we have video playback, then the coaches can appeal, but we cannot appeal to the jury if there is no video playback. So the jury also has the power to reprimand or to make sanctions against an athlete or team official for displaying misconduct within the field of play. For instance, if an athlete, a weightlifter, is on the platform and getting a down signal before finishing the lift because all the referees saw a mistake, and then the athlete is dropping the bar and starting to yell every bad word in his mother language, and it seems like it could be some kind of a threat to the ITOs, then the jury president can give a warning as well for that. Or if the coaches, they are, giving the knuckles like, we will come after you, or they will write something bad on the internet to us about the decisions, then we have the power to reprimand or even sanction. So that's also good to know that we need to act good and be good people, because we're all here for one reason, and that's to make a competition and follow the rules. But sometimes emotion gets too high and they are really outside the body, because that's what everybody has been training for. So it's understandable, but we still need to be good people to each other. And in particular, if the misconduct or either by actions or word represent a threat to any technical official or IWF or EWF personnel during the performance of their duty, the president of the jury, in conjunction with IWF, EWF president, EWF, IWF general secretary, or IWF, EWF competition director, will be responsible for executing any reprimand and a sanction. So it's not just something the jury president can do by him or herself. It's something that the jury will be unanimous about. And then we go to the president, whichever president is there. If it's a EWF competition, then we of course go to the EWF president. If it's an IWF, we go to IWF president or first vice president or whoever is there to say, we have experienced this. We would like to do like this. Do you agree? We have given a warning. We have experienced this, and then we will take action. So when the decision of the majority of the jury member, they differs from that of the referee's decision, the jury may review referee's decision, and they also may review their own decision in video playback technology. And throughout the course of the competition, the jury should also pay attention to the TCRR rule 66.5, the 20 kilo rules. It's very important that the 20 kilo rules is being obeyed or is taken carefully about, because it could mean medals, and people may cheat to get in the A final, or people may go to the B final when they are A finals lifters, but they can lift without pressure and everything. So we need to pay attention that everybody is lifting after the 20 kilo rules. And this is a very good job for one of the jury members to pay attention to. And then the reserve jury members, they will sit at a designated space in the field of play, but they will not sit at the jury table unless called upon to replace one of the other jury members. Normally, we try to have 2 extra seats at the secretariat, where also the timekeeper and where the speaker is, for the reserve referee and the reserve jury member, because they should be close by if anything happens and we need to replace someone. And also it's very important that the jury members and the referees and the timekeeper, everybody out in the field of play, they will remain in their respectful places for the victory ceremony, and also ensure that the referees remain in their respective positions. And then if some of the referees will be at the medal ceremony because someone from their country got a medal, and you get the honor to be a medal presenter, then the reserved referee will sit at the referee table instead. So we will do it like that. So it's also the
Tina?
jury's, yes?
We have a few questions here.
Okay.
And it's about video playback.
Mm-hmm.
And is it possible for a jury member to request a video playback?
Yes, it is. The jury president can always say, we need to see this again.
And a jury member?
Yeah, they will say, they will talk together and then say, yes, let's see it.
If there is video playback, is it majority? Is it only for 5 members of jury, or is it majority for 3 members of jury too?
Well, it doesn't say that specifically, because we also discussed it in Yerevan. I'm trying just to find the slide. It says here, yes.
You know, it's always all 3 in the 3 jury it must be anonymously.
Yes, and then in a 5-person jury, it's the majority. Yes, thank you, Trygve.
Thank you.
More questions?
No, these 2 were from Rainish Pashkar and Pauline Sesiano.
Excellent.
Thank you.
The jury president is also required to assess the need to recall a B group or any other group's athlete to attend an A group competition should the B group athlete be a medal taker. So it's very important for the jury to pay attention. And I also know in European weightlifting championships, the general secretary is very observing about if we have a very good B lifter. And it says in our constitution that the lifter can only get the medal if they are present. So if the lifter was lifting in a B group and will get a gold medal, for instance, because he lifted way more than the A group lifter 10 hours later did, then he must be present. Otherwise, the medal goes to number 2. We have called some athletes during the competition and say, where are you? Or trying to find some, for instance, there was an Israeli girl who in Georgia was, and she did very good snatch, so she got a bronze medal. And we found someone from the Israeli Weightlifting Federation said, please, can you get a taxi fast? Because if she's not here, she has half an hour. So please, in her national suit, let's get her here, and then so she can get the medal. And she was there in time. And but that's also the jury's job to spot if some B group or C group lifter did a very good job, so they will be in the medal ceremony.
Tina,
Yes.
we have 2 more questions.
Mhm.
From Kasmeris Anastasios. The jury president must have a list of the group to check the 20 kilo rule.
Yes. We always get the weigh-in list, and there you have. I'm not sure that we have the total that they entered with, but we have the start weights, and we know that the referees, they check it in the weigh-in. So and the computer system also gives us a warning if something else is happening. But in case that we have the 20 kilo rule, the athlete is only having 20 kilo, but has to go to decrease the weight, the start weight. Let's say the start weight was 80 in snatch and 100 in clean and jerk, and he has entered with a total of 200 kilos. That's super fine, no problem. It's within the 20 kilos. But then, you know, something is happening and he can only start at 75 in snatch. So he has to increase his start weight in the clean and jerk. So he will have to start at 105. Okay?
Yes, and we will go through the 20 kilo rule a bit more in the chief marshal also.
Thank you, Patrick. But
and we had one more question.
Yep.
For the reversal of the referee decision with a 3-person jury, is it the majority or must it be unanimous?
Unanimously. It must be all in a 3-person jury. All 3 jury members must have the same vote. Unanimous. They must be unanimous. It means they all have to be a good lift, or they all have to put out no lift.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was from Joe Triolo, and now we have Aaron Holt, and that would be their first change of the clean and jerk, and I think it was about the 20 kilo rule. And yes, it is the first lift that counts.
Yeah. Thank you, Patrick.
Sorry,
and
Tina.
you will, it's okay. And you will, of course, tell much more about this when you make the chief marshal presentation.
Of course.
Yes. So we are almost through my presentation, but we still need some more what the jury must take into consideration. If a lift is failed because the barbell is not equally loaded, or the platform is damaged, or the barbell becomes disarranged during the lift, or there is an incursion or any other external interference, the jury must grant an additional attempt for the affected athlete. So this is the power of the jury. For instance, in 2018 in Romania, one of the very first lift, she went on the platform and then all light went out. And she competed. She continued to lift and we couldn't see anything. So of course she got an extra lift. We had also in Romania some special shoes. It was the yellow Nike Romerio. They were very, very slippery. So they really was Bambi on the ice. So we also gave some extra lifts there because they couldn't do anything about it. So but if the bar is loaded wrongly, or if it, it starts to move and then it's difficult to make the jerk or completing the snatch or whatever it is, then we can give an extra attempt. And also the jury must look on the small discs. If they have friction, then they can be outside of the collar. But if there are no friction, then they can slip off and then they must be inside the collar. So this is also the jury that must observe that. And in last year in Albania, almost all the small discs were with friction, but I think one of them were without. And then they couldn't provide in the beginning, so we decided to have all the small discs outside. And then when they provided the extra sets with friction, then it was no problem. We could have them outside. So this is also the jury's assignment to be careful about that.
Okay, Tina, we have some more questions.
Mhm.
And we are back to the question about the reversal of the referee decision using video playback technology. And I think Trygve was on it, that we needed I can't say it.
Unanimously.
Unanimously. Every person in the jury must say it if it's 3 person.
Yes.
If it's video playback technology or not.
It's the same. It's the same. Yes.
Okay. And then we're to 7.5.15, the first point on your.
Yeah.
They're wondering, should it be a decision by all the members of the jury, or is it possible that just the president of the jury makes the decision?
Well, it says the jury, but it should be the jury president who will say, I think, or maybe I didn't see it, so one of the members can say, oh, but it wasn't loaded correctly. But it will be, unanimous.
Unanimous.
Just to say the word again. But of course, the jury president must be, have the focus and then say, I think we have the power to give a new lift. Do you agree? And then, of course, the jury member says yes.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. So if there has been an error in loading the bubble, or if the speaker makes a serious error during the announcement of an athlete's name or the calling of the weight, the jury can also must grant another attempt. If it interferes so much, then it's also something that can give an extra attempt. And then, so it's very nice to make all your autographs, because the jury president controls and signs all the technical official cards. At all events, the president of the jury or the competition director must appoint an individual to complete a manual protocol as well as a backup document. Whenever I'm jury president, I always have one of the jury member to pay attention to the time, to the clock, and always be prepared to, is it a 1 minute lift? Is it a 2 minute lift? Was there announcement of a 2 minute lift, and then we have an increasement, and then it's another lifter, and then we're back to this first lifter. So one jury member is keeping an eye on that. And then I have another jury member to make the protocol, because if the system breaks down, then we have a manual protocol. And if we are 5-person jury, then I give other assignments to the jury members, so they have extra jobs as well. And also the jury president will have to sign every time a session has finished, to sign that the session has finished. Yeah. So this is.
Tina?
Yes.
Another question.
Yeah.
Who will sign the ITU card of the jury president then?
Another jury member.
Thank you.
The jury president can never sign his or her own card. Always another jury member or the other jury president. It doesn't make any. It doesn't matter which one, but not yourself.
Thank you.
So we are now at the end. It's really fun to be in the jury. It's also hard work, and you must have big shoulders, because you can be yelled at and you can be very unpopular. But I think it's very good to be in the jury, and to make sure that everybody is being treated the right way. So the technical committee, as you see us all here, I hope you can see Patrick. He's behind all you on the side here. Can you see Patrick? I hope you can. Here he is. Hello. And we would like to say a big thank you for the support again. And so it was possible for us to make these seminars. And please join us for more. And now we have finished the role of the jury. And on this 23rd of May, at the same time, 7 o'clock, it will be Trygve Dunn who will make the role of the referee. And then on the 31st of May, we have the role of the Chief Marshal by Patrick Helgeson, also 7 o'clock. And on the 6th of June, we will have the role of the Technical Controller by Thomas Nolander from Sweden. He's not a part of the technical committee, but he is in the Swedish Weightlifting Federation Technical Committee, and he has a lot of experience. Last year we used Taisto Coppola. Thank you so much for that. We are just trying to invite different guest stars here in our committee, so that's why we asked Thomas. And then, as the new thing I started telling you about is the role of the coach. How is he preparing before and during and maybe after the competition? And then it's actually my husband because he's the national coach in Denmark. So we will mix a combined here in our study room and then make a PowerPoint presentation, and I will do some kind of the rules and regulations that are good to know for the coaches. So what is important at the weigh-in, what is important at the warm-up area, and how can we be in the field of play, and all these things that all the ITOs knows, but many coaches do not know it. So we think it's good to have a presentation and a seminar with that. And then the 19th of June, our very last one, is with an athlete from Moldova, Natalia Priskeva. And she will tell you about how she is preparing for competition and what is important during the competition, and how to go to the weigh-in and how to prepare during the warm-up. And if you're not certain on the platform that you are motionless, then just stay a second longer and then drop the bar. All these things. And now she has had her last competition, as I told you before, and she will also tell you a little bit about her future plans, and she's also an ITO. So this is some very, very good online seminars that I hope that you will join, all of you.
Tina,
Yes.
last chance for questions. Very
exactly.
good. Does a member of the jury have the right to convince the rest of his opinion that the lift is right or wrong?
No.
No discussion?
You can discuss, you can, but you cannot try to convince and take the arm and say, come on, I'm right, you're wrong. But you can say, wow, I noticed that you give wide whenever he lifts, and he has clearly oscillation before doing the jerk, for instance. And then the jury member says, yeah, but it's not so much. And then we can discuss what is so much and what is not so much, and is it a rule or is it not a rule? And then you can take the discussion, but yeah, always not try to convince and say it's my way or you cannot be here. That's not good, but listen and try to explain, but not try to convince or pursue.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have lots of thank yous here, but somebody is wondering, how could we get a certificate for this session?
Yes. So I would say that now. I would thank you so much for your attention, and you will all get a certificate or a diploma for your participation here. And it would be very good for us if you if you have more people from one country, that your federation will send an email to office EWF.sport. What is Snabley called? What is this?
At?
So it's office at EWF.sport. And then you can write that from Sweden, Patrick Helgeson participated together with Martin Jung and Elisabeth Hagman, or the last name first, sorry. Hagman, Elisabeth. Helgeson, Patrick. Or Derek, Özlem from Turkey. Okay, so if you put it, then you will get it very, very soon. And then we will, for the next time, we will, when Trygve is making his presentation, we will put it in the last slide with the email address. So again, office@ewf.sport. Try to do it for your country, and then the surname, first name, and country. Then the secretariat will make the diplomas very fast for you. Okay, any more questions? Patrick?
No, I can't
My
see any
beautiful
more.
helper? No?
I will
Well-
have to practice this word with unanimously.
Yeah, you did it.
Thank you.
So now we can stop. Okay, I would like to say thank you so much for joining and attending, and thank you so much for all your questions, and thank you so much to all from all over the world who's participating. I think it's fantastic that you are in the middle of the night or in the middle of the morning and you still want to join our seminars. I hope that you learned something, or you got something back on track, or whatever, just as long as you were had a good time. I had a good time. So I would like to say million thanks, and I hope to see you next week, where I will present Trygve for the role of the referee. So long, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye bye.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye.